and we drove home with our dad, and all of a sudden, I cannot explain this. All of a sudden, I couldn't breathe. It was like I couldn't breathe.
Sounds like a panic attack.
The moment I understood this is really getting serious is when I landed up in the hospital. And at that time, my weight was 42, so it was nothing. He told him, listen, I don't know what your daughter is doing right now, but she has to stop right now.
Hello, my name is Luminita.
And my name is Angelica.
And welcome to Post-Soviet Sisters podcast.
Here you will be a part of our sister talk, as always.
And today we have, now we're smiling, both of us, but today's topic is a little bit more serious.
Yes.
And it's about the darkest times in our lives so far, or times when we hit the rock bottom. And because I think we all have these periods of life when you think that that's all, there is no way out, everything is bad. And as you can see, we got out of it. And today we want to talk about how this happened, how we managed to get out of these difficult periods of our lives till now. And maybe if you are in such a period of your life right now, maybe you hear some tips, tricks, strategies, how you can do it. Or you can talk to someone about it. I think we will start with you. From your life so far, did you have any moments in your life when you thought like, that's all? I don't know what to do next. Maybe times when you didn't, like you woke up in the morning and you thought like, it's a new day,
I think, my rock bottom moment, I don't know yours. So I'm curious to hear yours. I will tell my story very short because you already know it, and our podcast is meant to be a sister talk. So we will not play like, but
I know that.
Yes. So I will just tell. I didn't realize at that moment that it was my rock bottom. I'm a type of personality that is getting hysteric because of small things. I can really make theater out of somebody, I don't know, not calling me back right after 5 minutes or something like this. But when something very serious is happening, I put myself together and I do everything. Okay, I really think like this. So this happened. What should I do? What can I do right now to make this better or to get out of this? So I'm this type of person. There are a lot of psychology, but there are other ones who are getting stressed out and they are out of control and everything is bad. I didn't realize at that moment that it was my rock bottom, just simply because I'm this type. But the moment I understood this is really getting serious is when I landed up in the hospital. So I think then Mother Nature or something or somebody or my inner me or something, I was living in Austria at that time, and I felt this need to fly home to Chisinau. So I just took a ticket, I don't know, in two days, and it was difficult for me to do this because I was working, I was studying, and everything was running, very precise. And so I took the ticket and I went to Chisinau. We went with my parents for a walk. I bet you were with us.
No, I was in Austria.
You was in Austria, yes. So yes, and we went for a walk. There was a cherry festival, I bet. At that moment, I even have a picture in my Facebook. Still have a picture. I had it like a profile picture. And I thought from time to time to delete it, so I forget this moment, but I leave it there. I don't use Facebook anymore. A lot. I don't know. Anyways, I went home. We went for a walk, and I suddenly felt very bad. Very, very, very bad. We went to I remember our parents were invited to wedding, and we drove home. Our dad, our mom went to the hairdresser, and we drove home with our dad. And all of a sudden, I cannot explain this. All of a sudden, I couldn't breathe. It was like I couldn't breathe. I cannot imagine right now how it can be, but I couldn't breathe. It was like I couldn't inhale and exhale. It was, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
It was really painful. I couldn't. It was very bad. So
Sounds like a panic attack, or signs of a panic attack.
Maybe. So our dad brought me instantly to the hospital, and while they were researching what happens with me, the doctors, another doctor took our dad to his office, and he told him, listen, I don't know what your daughter is doing right now, but she has to stop right now, because my weight is normally between 48-50 kilograms, and at that time my weight was 42, so it was nothing. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see it, like for me it was okay. I was leaving. I was eating a lot of sweets. I was not, maybe from time to time I forgot to eat, but I didn't realize it. I was busy. So yes, that was the moment when I realized something is going definitely very, very bad.
Yeah.
So I came back. The story was more large, much more large, as I tell you right now. But I went back to Austria. I made a lot of radical decisions. I quit my job. I quitted my relationship. I cut everything off.
But was it like an aha moment in the hospital that you felt like, okay, that's all, or was it more gradual, or?
It was one moment. That moment. I will not tell it right here, but this was the moment when this was the aha moment. So it was one. It existed one moment when it was aha.
Okay.
So yes, and after that, before that, I was like everything pulling behind me and everybody and everything, and I thought, okay, I have to, and I just I couldn't imagine. I thought, okay, when I quit my job, then it will be hard to find a new one. And I really loved what I did. And if I quit my relationship, this will cause pain to another person. So I never thought about really myself. And when I came back, it was for me very obvious that I'm not doing. I can tell you more. I was not doing better for anybody. I was poisoning everybody's life.
Yeah.
So doing these radical decisions, I helped everybody out of this shitty situation. So it was, it was very well. And since then, my life skyrocketed, and it was the best. I think, bad times ask for radical decisions.
Yeah.
And they are very welcomed. Yes.
But what exactly brought you into this rock bottom? Was it a lot of job, a lot of work, or because you said you loved your work, so it wasn't that you hated your job, but you just stayed there? Was it?
I think I was too young to make decisions. I was young, and I was afraid of the consequences of my decisions, and I didn't want to take them. I wanted that decisions, but I waited my boss to fire me. I waited for my boyfriend to separate from me. I was not happy, but I worked a lot at that time. I worked from 7 in the morning till 11 in the night, and I thought that I need to. But since then, I've learned how to delegate some things, and it is not the quantity, it's the quality, and yes, but I worked a lot because I was tragically unhappy in my personal life, and I simply didn't want to go home.
Yeah.
But at the moment I've met my husband, because we met at my work. All of a sudden I found time for escapes to Munich, which is 2 hours away.
Yeah.
For escapes to Verona, which is 3 hours one way. Like for dinner, and all of a sudden I realized, wait, so. If I find time right now, then I can find theoretically time for this. I just didn't want to. So yes.
But you still quit your job.
I quit my job and I separated from my boyfriend because yes, it was the decision. The separation was like I woke up at 6 a.m. I woke him up as well, and I told him, "Listen, we separated." He was like, "What? Wait, what?" And I was, "No, we separated." So, yes, and at my work, I told everything. I wrote because my boss was not in Austria. I wrote him a letter and told him, "Listen, I'm away."
But were you alone in these decisions?
Yes.
Was there someone that, I don't know, a friend or someone that
No, I
you
was
talked
alone.
to?
I was alone. I'm this type of, again, coming back to types, I think we can make a research. When I have problems, I do, I close myself. I close up myself. So I'm not this type who's like screaming, I'm sad, I'm feeling bad, I close up myself and I rethink and think things in my head, and I make analysis of what I'm doing, what I did, and what I'm going to do. And I remember my friends at that time, they called me a lot and they wrote me, and I wrote everybody. I was not so stupid, although I was pretty young. I was 23, 24. And I wrote them all back. Listen, I will come back to you. I just need time for myself. Everything is okay with me. Well, I'm not literally dying. Maybe, I don't know. But it was, you remember, I took you for a ride to Verona and we drove completely another direction.
Yeah.
So it was, I was alone and I like it like this. What makes me very sad is I like to share with people my happiness. And this is, in Russian, we have a saying like happiness loves silence. And I'm so against this saying, because I think really it's important. I like when I see somebody sharing his or her happiness on any social media, and I'm really happy for this. I never felt like, but I'm really happy to see this, and I'm like gaining positive energy, and I'm so sad I cannot do the same, especially right now, because I'm ashamed sometimes to show something I'm happy about right now. I share, of course, I'm very blessed to have my family, so I share with my family, so that I can put it out. But yes.
About the thing that you internalize when you have bad periods of time, because I'm the same, like 100% the same. When I have some troubles or something is going on, I close and then I think to myself. And I suppose, because in one of our episodes we talked about the relationship between our parents, and we said that we never saw our parents fight or have any arguments. Like every single time when they had some troubles in the relationship, they did it separately. So they never involved us in that.
Yes.
So maybe we kind of took this behavior from that of like, okay, when something happens, it's not because you are a bad person, but because you don't want to, you love people around you, so you don't want to involve them into.
No, I think I thought about myself. I didn't think to involve mom or dad or you. I think I would have involved you right now, because you're older right now. So I would have shared some things with you.
But I was
back
16,
then. But you
17.
was 16, yes. And at that time, but right now I would have shared with you some things. And I did at that time, but I did it a little bit in my hidden way, yes. But it was, I remember posting at that time on social media such happy pictures, and nobody, I'm sure nobody knew about this, about this situation in my life. And I bet there are a lot of people going through all this, and nobody knows about this. Yes.
I mean, your story has a happy ending,
Yes, of course.
But as you say, I see sometimes in press, people not having such a happy ending. And then everyone is wondering, like, why? Because this person seemed on social media, or this person seemed so happy and so doing well. And then out of the blue, in a second, they decided to end their story. And I think, as you say, there's some people, they just don't, I don't know, either they don't feel safe or they don't feel comfortable sharing this. And I think it's a tricky moment in here, because on one hand side, if you see someone not feeling well, you cannot just leave this person alone. But on the other hand, at least for me, when I don't feel well and someone is pushing him or herself into asking what I'm doing.
I do this to her. I'm pushing her.
And my first reaction is pushing back, as I don't want anyone to intrude so directly. Maybe people, or like, I think also with the time we learned that you can do this a little, or one can do this a little bit more softly, not like intrude, like, now tell me your problems right now. But I think it's a very risky, tricky situation in there, and I'm very happy that you're a very strong person.
Yes, I am.
And I think this is what helped you in your situation, because you are very strong-willed, you are very stubborn.
Yeah.
And
I sometimes people see me very la 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 and la la la, and people who get to know me better, they're shocked to see how I can make decisions. I've learned it maybe throughout my life, but I can make decisions. And coming out of such a rock bottom is equal to making decisions. Making a decision to end your story is not a decision. It's a weakness for me. You have to make decisions, because ending up your story, somebody's story is like not having to deal with the consequences of these decisions. And I was a strong person, and I think that ones who are making decisions and are ready to deal with these consequences, this is the ultimate receipt of getting out of some situations.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. I agree.
And I'm still, I kind of trained this, and I will try to learn this to my son. I kind of trained to make decisions. When earlier somebody asked me, what do you want, for example, for dinner? Do you want to go for a restaurant, to Italian or to Austrian cuisine? And I was like, oh, you can decide. It's everything, both is okay for me. And from one point of my life, I started to say, I want Italian, I want this, and I learned to make decisions. And I think these small things, they do matter.
Yeah.
For example, my son is 2 years old, but he, as you've seen yesterday, I try to let him decide, do you want this or this direction or this direction? And he is deciding, and I want to cultivate this story. Yes.